Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the footprint charts first and foremost. So we got a little bit of a push up here pre-market, starting to squeeze some of the buy side liquidity. As you can see, the buyers delta is getting pushed up, so to speak, as they get knocked out. Delta overall increasing session delta 699 positive in terms of buyer contracts over the sellers. Buy side liquidity in blue, sell side in red. Sell side enters as the longs peel off their contracts in profit, or shorts try to short that and get squeezed up into becoming buy side up here. If you look at the hourly candle, which just closed, you had a bunch pinged in here. We had huge orders, 276 buyers at the 407 region and a bunch of buys up in this level. Do we start seeing some fatigue at one point? Where could that be? Let's go into the charts here. Let's get out of this mode. I was saying goodnight to my kids and I missed this little bullish divergence oversold region on Optima. Easy kind of bounce off the adaptive. That would have been a good little play right there. It is what it is. So we're coming up into a level here. So let's go to the hourly time frame. So on this bullish trend-based fib level of this impulse retrace from yesterday, we held this 236 level, which also happens to be a larger time frame bullish 236 level. So was this a liquidity grab to see some upside action? That upside action will put you up in these regions. We do have FOMC today, so it is going to be a little bit of a crazy day, volatile to say the least. There's a fair value gap up here in the 593 region. Not that means it's going there, but we are oversold on 6 time frames as of Tuesday and started to make our bounce out back into this dark channel here. The price band made its way back in, and now we're starting to come back out, poke our head out of the other side of the equation of the dark channel. Let's go back into a lower time frame here. 5 minute had a nice little bounce off the cloud here at London. I was working at the time, but you could have taken that if you are a momentum master trader. What is this little bit of happiness? Link in the description for more. This is a little bit of something that I am working on in conjunction with the A trend cloud idea and the trend cloud and the baselines and all that fun stuff you can read about on the website with the link in the description. Shout out to everyone here. Let's go see how many of you are in the chat. Let's go to here, go live. Booyah. Hey, Prehab, what's up, Rainier? I like that squirt gun. Squirt, squirt. So that was really nice. You could have played that quite nicely on the 5 minute here. That breakout retrace. Let's see. Let's go back and just recap. So that was a nice golden pocket bounce too. Like, look at that. Came right into the 0.65 region, just below the 618, and bang to the upside. That was a good little continuation idea. If you were looking at that, congratulations. That was right going into the London silver bullet. Interesting. And that's all she wrote, and we're going just mooning up to this fib level from that level, from this rise retrace idea here. Make sure the wicks are proper here. Just delete that. Ooh, and that coincides with the fair value gap at the 1618. Something to note. So you had a 236 here. This was like a that's the other time frame one. So you had 2 bullish trend-based fib 236s at this level also. London continuation out. And we got another bounce entry here, pre-market off the cloud on the 5 minute. Interesting. Tried to induce some shorts here twice, but the dots were holding on this 5 minute, as was the cloud. The cloud started to wane here, but you were above it. Just going back in time and looking at what I missed as I spent time with my family after work. It is 10:04 4:08 p.m. Japan time, and we are about 22 minutes till the open. So now we're going back to the 30-second. As you can see, price goes above this dark band, comes back in it, goes beneath the dark band, and then comes back in it. So this is a trending, obviously, because you got all these trend dots, trend bubbles coming up here. This is a new little thing that I'm trying to make more visually captivating. You don't need to do like regression trends anymore like this, because it will put it in a regression trend for you naturally. A natural dynamic regression trend tool. Pretty cool. This could be one of those days where it just straight rips the shorts a new one and gives you no entry on it. So the 30-second gives you these front run ideas that don't necessarily always play out, you know, but it gives you insinuations of stuff leading into the 1 minute. I don't go much further below the 30-second, but the 30-second is more just a granular 1 minute, right? So anything below that is just getting a little bit too noisy. So I take all the noise and turn it into this optima here, because this optima is 5 time frames of information. Looks simple, but it's extremely hard to have made a calculation that does all that. So we're starting to come back under the trend dots, but the cloud is mighty thick on the 30-second still. And you got the channel average here in yellow, the adaptive in kind of light yellow. Probably need to make that a different color. We'll see. I try to avoid red and green. I don't know, I just don't like the whole red and green concept. Let's see, does this? I see, so that was, I probably need to do this then. Go over to here, settings, body. What is the body of this settings here? Hold on. I think I made it like 35, that's why. Better. Keep the outlines and the wicks stronger, but keep the bodies bled of color. I like that. Make them like ghosts, because the price action is kind of a ghost of itself anyway. It's basically going up above this level. And that's what a channel is all about. That is what a channel is all about. And let's go back to the ATOS, see what else is crack-a-lacking on the contracts here. So, in this previous hour, coming up into the 35 levels, we're getting about 600 contracts of buy side entering, some sell side entering to the tune of 400 contracts or so. Overall, 800 positive for the session of buy side. This is also a link in the description for a free 14-day trial. You can read about it. It's a toss, looking at the footprints, like what's behind the candles, how many buy-side liquidity is being, how much buy-side liquidity is being grabbed as we go up, and how many shorts are inducing themselves, or longs peeling off contracts to allow it to drift higher. You can see all that stuff here. So ideally you want to see a large pool of buyers, boom, liquidation event, and then it will sharply reverse from that point. Prior to the market open, we had something similar to that here. It had a little bit of buyers here. You had 157, 397, 262, 178, and then it started to reverse down here. You got more sellers, then it started to come back. And so the more buyers you get up into resistance, the more likely it does the opposite of go up. Now, with a toss, you don't have to apply this and have it do this like I'm doing right now. You can connect up a Rhythmic account live, but as of this moment in time, I have my Rhythmic connected to Replikanto, which is also in the description. This is a copy trader thing here. We have about 8 contracts connected. We have our main one trading SIM, but you see the leader account SIM is connected to all of these. Oh, these aren't on. I wonder. All connected. Let's save it. Okay. Boom. And we broke that trend dot level. You got 3 time frames overbought, signaling once, twice, 3 times. We started to come back into those bubbles and boom, dropped down out of this. Now getting the money flying away. 15 minutes to the open. And this was right into where you had a bunch of buy side up here. So they could pause into the open here as it induced a liquidation and or trap for some longs. So they got a comfortable amount up there, so they're just like, okay, whatever that was, either that was stopping out some shorts or trapping some longs, so we can pause here for a bit, and then they're pausing to either induce some more sells, some shorts. "14 minutes. Give me 1 second. Back. Let's go take a look at the DXY real quick, because I was seeing like some interesting. It's gonna lack a cloud because it lacks the ability to display volume, which is why any volume indicator that shows on the DXY is not really a volume indicator. So starting to get oversold here. Could see a bounce back up to that region, which would cause things to drop at some point. Could go sweep these lows here, and down here we did already. Starting to get a little bit of a pullback on NQ. One thing to note is if you start to bring candles back into these bearish dots and then distance yourself from them, like here for example, you burst back up, start coming back in with this cross up event, you could be seeing more upside to the other side here. Try to make it more visually captivating, you know. Starting to get a cloud shift here on the 30-second. The dragon's making a turn. The Leviathan. Of price action. What's up?
Wow.
Sorry. All right, so how's it going? What's up? Smurf, could I get a comment about what you think of this light thing and how the bands work in tandem and the trend dots show that like trend continuation idea? It's kind of like a regression trend. It's like a linear cloud dynamic regression trend. Do, 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 do. 9 minutes. All right, so they reclaimed about 200 of those contracts up there, of course, cumulatively speaking. So if there's sellers shorting here, they could use that fuel to continue higher. If they stopped out some longs, then that could be a test to stop out longs and or induce more shorts. You came back into a range here on the level over here that you're coming back to. You did not reclaim that 442 level just yet. So this higher high level that we dropped down yesterday has not yet been taken. You can see that more clearly on the 32 bar over here, 42.25. This gives me my levels, so I don't need to like spend time on it. I can just eyeball it really quick. That's one cool feature about Renko is the noise reduction. I like that noise reduction idea. But ultimately, when I come to pull the trigger, I'm going to be looking at this. It's just better. You could literally have gotten in right there, like boom, as you broke that cloud channel dot, whatever you want to call it. So far so good. Made money yesterday. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I went through a little bit of horsiness during the open, so I'm taking it easy today. I was up prior to the open. In total, I was up $300 across like 8 accounts yesterday, but it was, you know, it was embarrassing to have experienced drawdown during that opening play because I was a little bit too quick to pull the trigger. We're trying to keep it a little bit more, what's the word? Chill. But not hesitating. I'm not gonna hesitate. I just will be looking for something like when it gets to these oversold levels and the money flow and the disparity get like that, it generally kind of reacts off of this oversold region on Optima. It's doing that to the 1 minute too. So we'll see how far does it go. It's taking it for a ride. It's meeting with resistance on that channel average. That channel average is really cool how it like fractally like meets with a bounce or a resistance. You're getting an ABC here by the looks of it, pre-market. Let's go ahead and see how far it goes. No, let's see right here, trend-based fib level. We got about 5 minutes. All right, non-horse, yeah. Trying to non-horse and eval and just snatched a couple quickies and got out fast. Nice. So you're bouncing off that one level right now of the bearish trend-based fib level. If I do this correctly, I might have been off a little bit, which is why it's not exactly on the one. One thing to note is if you come beneath that white zone, it's like wants to go directly back in, like, no, too dangerous, the unknown. So it goes out and comes back in, like, hold on. All right, so the open is in 4 minutes, less than 3 minutes, in about 3 seconds. Came back to the super trend on the 8 bar, super trend 1. 50 SMA coming up to meet you at 409. So you're getting that oversold. Let's go look at a toss one last time. It's funny, I was trying to look for my message in the group and I searched a toss in the message field within Momentum Master, and then I saw Dylan mentioned a toss back in April or something. He's like, I'm going to be using a toss for a while now. It's kind of funny, I didn't even see that message. So we're slowly eating back some of the positive delta that we had to the tune of 800 up here, now down to 471 delta positive, which means buyers positive for the session, getting about 400 longs entering here, which means they could continue lower to stop them out. There is a money bag that appeared here, money stack on the 30-second. Momentum on the lower time frame in your favor as of that 1 minute ago area, which is this 30-second cross up, and some other lower time frame cross up as well of the baseline. We could be just chopping it up for this lower leg down to this like 14 level. Cloud is still mighty thick on the 30-second, just starting to shift on the 1 minute here. 36 seconds. So they went in 17. Coming back down to the adaptive on the 1 minute, which happens to be this fib level, the 1382. Yum. Ooh, they went right into those longs. Hardcore. Congrats if you're in the short. Holy moly. If you horsed into that, you're in the moolah now. It totally just negated that entire move up pre-market. It'd be a thing on evals. Oh, nice. All right. So that thinning on the 1 minute, how about them apples? We were talking about that thinning just getting started. We were like, this 1 minute's just getting started to thin. It didn't even pivot at all. It just said, nope, downside. To the downside with yous. Now we're back at the bullish 236 fib levels, two of them. A local 236 and a higher time frame one. Are we gonna get a reaction there? It's also the SMA. All right, fine, I'll take it. If you want to bounce. Okay, let's see. How do we switch it to not points? I want to do ticks. There we go, ticks. Oops, I didn't mean to enter 100 tick one, but oh well. It's more volatile anyway, so I need to monitor it that way. We're on MNQ, right? Let's just make sure we're on MNQ. All right, MNQ. Only in terms of it coming back into this white cloud and a 236 thing, I'm gonna cut it if it does not hold this 236. Money stack twice. They must have stopped out a massive amount of longs that were in on those consolidation or into this level. So some sort of bounce would be reasonable to think. It's also the 50 SMA on the 16 bar Renko, which happens to be the settlement line for the open. So we came down to the settlement line. Nice cross up, coming in. Can you get knocked into, can you come back into these bubbles or not? The speed at which it dropped, I mean, this could be ultimately like a B wave to a larger C. I'm not going to say anything about what the future may hold. I have no idea. But you are in that oversold region. And they always punish the pre-market people, so it looks like they punished them. That 236, that 236. If I got a line on my chart and I know what it means, I'm not gonna like discount that because they have these weird reactions there a lot of the time, more often than not. And now we're up 50 ticks. It's also the SMA confluence. It was the 200 SMA on the 8 bar that we bounced off of. Are we going to continue this, or are there too many horsey characters in with minis that they're dollar cost averaging down to destroy? Let's go look at the ATAS to find out. Whoops. Hey you. There you go. All right, so in total, we went negative 562 contracts in that drop there. Now we broke even, so now we're at break even. The point of control is at 405. Can we make it up to that region? We did. We're at 404. We're at the point of control for the range here. We got a bunch of sells entered into that drop there for the last hour, the last 36 minutes of this hour. Large amount of sells there, some buyers too. I don't necessarily trust what's going on here without being able to monitor it properly, so I'm going to take a look here. This could be a A, B, C to the downside to my stop loss zone though, so if it does not like continue a bounce off of the settlement line for the session slash the super trend on the 32. I like it. I like the confluence. Can we see it through to fruition? Are we going to get above this bearish trend-based fib on the 32nd or not? We're still getting money stacks, stack on the 32nd, on the 1 minute as well, now crossing up. Generally when the 1 minute crosses up, it starts to go back down again. Unless it's very bullish. But we're here for it. If it's bullish, we're in. But All right, breaking back up above the cloud again. We like to see that conviction. Conviction is good, especially if it's in your favor. Breaking up above the adaptive perhaps. We got above the channel average, close the candle above it. Can we get above this adaptive here and break this thick cloud of that burst into the open? This is technically the first pivot after the initial open play. First pivots can be pretty decent for moves. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on. That was a nice bounce off the 236, you gotta admit. Look at that. You gotta admit, man. Those levels are pretty fire. Like my Fibonacci's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's good, but it's not bad. Oof, no more conviction for me. I don't want any more. You don't want any more profits, hopefully? I hope that means you're in the profit and you've had enough profit. Come on, lock in. Yes, locked in the 100 ticks. Stop loss into profit. Here we go to the upside. Booyah. We'll just post that. It might stop me out. I gotta take it before it knocks me out. All right, let's do that. Beep, 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 beep. To the group. And let's go over what we are looking at just so we can see for our records. Copy the link. Boom, boom, boom. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then we got to the dots on the other side of the equation. You could technically trail your stop. If it's super trending, then you could trail these dots pretty well. Like, check this out. You go back here, it would have stopped you out the entire way up. And you could just use the trend dots as your guide. Always let the trend dots be your guide. And so I could use this 415.50 as my stop loss area. If it's super trending, it will continue in that direction. And then you don't really need Renkos anymore. That was my inspiration from the Renkos. I was like, the Renkos are meant to reduce the noise, right? So why not make like this like band that reduces the noise, you know? That the candles kind of act within and you see the shift dynamically speaking, you know what I mean? But it doesn't give you false signals. It's very accurate and tight to the price. It even bounced off that dot there. Boom. All right, man, this is awesome. We're up like 150 ticks. We peeled off 2 contracts. We got the runner. It's gonna stop out the runner most likely here, but 128 secured on the runner at least. And this is why automation is good, because then I don't have any emotion about it. Maybe I need to tweak that maybe it's too close and it will keep going. I don't care, but if it peels back and kicks and goes back from this point for a pullback, I got my contracts. I got paid. 187 in that trade across a fair amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts. And it is pulling back, and that's why it's like I don't care if it's not continuing or not. And it's coming back for the pullback, and this could be your B to hit the cloud here. You come back, you hit the cloud, and then you continue, possibly speaking. I don't know the future, no one does, but I've seen this happen before. You could get a little bit of a reaction, a bounceroo off that. Let's go ahead and see a retrace. And this is how you do your fibs. You do a retrace up to that impulse. You got to be quick because things move quickly. You go to that equilibrium point 402. If it's ultra bullish, I don't know. Right now it's holding the adaptive moving average and the channel average here, these 2 points of confluence, which are backtestably true. Money is flying away, but if it starts to weaken, you could just continue and rip back up here if they trapped enough shorts into the idea and the longs started peeling off like me. The longs peel off and it becomes sell side enters of orders, then that means they don't need to pay to go up, and then they start to go up again. So the more sells, the more likely it goes up. Period. End of story. Whatever a sell means, whether that's longs taking it off like me or a short entering, that just means we got the green light to go up. So that's what the studying of the footprint chart is about. So we're going to shift over to that very briefly. Okay, and getting 944 buy imbalance, so they did induce a lot of sell, like they took out a bunch of the buy side liquidity there with that rise up. But if it's truly gonna rip, that's nothing, because on Friday it went up to 7K buy side as it was dropping, so there were just bot longs longing the entire way down. Is this a 382 ultra bullish level? This is a shallow. We went to a shallow level. That's another shallow one. Interesting. We're gonna do a shallow bounce. That means it's ultra bullish if it does that. Could be inducing liquidity of the impatient people and then go to the deep one. A type 2 entry model. Cloud though, the cloud is shifting here. You see this angle of the cloud? Does the cloud stay thinning in nature here? Kind of looks like a whale or a dragon. I'll call it the underbelly. The underbelly of the dragon. A dragonborn.
I am a dragonborn. Fatality. Ride the dragon.
All right, so the cloud is starting to thin here. You have the super trend down here at 402, but it's looking mighty bullish. It just went into the haze of the cloud and bounced. Ultimately could come up to these trend-based fib levels they never met with. They pre-marketly dumped on them to get the liquidity to go up there, possibly. We're chilling because we're up already. We are 1 for 1. I forgot to hit my button. Bing. All right, so you got the adaptive moving average. It bounced off of, closed the candle above the adaptive twice. So what's he gonna do? What you gonna do, mon ami? Perfect execution. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That 236 bounce was like, all right, I'm taking it. I'm going in, coach. I mean, also the oversold nature of, I'm telling you, this oversold on Optima is pretty fire. If you get that on the 30-second and the 1 minute, and it's a key level, and you're outside these like baseline / cloud thing, it's like, at least I could take it for something. know, I never know where it's going to go. Nobody does, but you know, I've seen it enough times. Like when it gets to that oversold region, you know, there's only so much it can do. Like here, you know, you don't want to initially take it. That's why I was like waiting for like some sort of double bottom or double top, you know, especially when it's trending like this, when you have a large, huge cloud like that. That angle is the deadly angle, because it's just like we're gonna squeeze the shorts, and they go really slow. You know, when it's impulsive like that, it's generally, I mean, you know this, I'm just preaching to the choir here, but when it's impulsively breaking down, it impulsively breaks back up. We all know the liquidity grab, and that was a liquidity grab if I ever saw one. They're not sustainable. It's just like a quick dumperoo, like, get off me. Cloud is shifting here. Super trend holding this cloud level. Bounced once off the cloud. You're coming back to the cloud again. However, cross down event and the channel starting to go back into the dark here. Can you maintain this light above the dark for a bullish trend to continue? The trend dots kind of starting to wane here. I'm out, just for the record. I captured, you know, 150 ticks, 50 here, or 100 there, 150 there, and then the stop out at 122 for the third. That shift though, the cloud shift, that angle insinuation is very nice. This is the 382 level. Let's go see what's crack-a-lacking on the Renko. You came back down to Super Trend 2. You're rev barring out on the 8 bar, perhaps. Double top, perhaps, potential on the 32. Sweeping that 42 level would be like ideal though, to take out that complete high just slightly above it. And then go to, oh, we're dipping back down. Let's go see what's going on. So that thinning of the white, the light going back into the dark was it gives you that insinuation on top of insinuation about the what's it called, the baselines. Everything's meant to complement the baselines. It's a baseline complementary tool. So we're up a K in buy side liquidity as of 4 minutes ago. So you had 1,000 contracts imbalance to the buy side here for the session delta. We started to come up here, fatigue, and now we're coming back down into the sell. We took back nearly 700 of those buys into the sell side. If it becomes shorts, they could use that as an inducement trap to continue higher or they could just rip it completely back down if they got a target reached. Let's go see what we can see. Bouncing off the 382 yet again. A double 382 bounce, just coming just below the trend dot for the bearish nature and saying nope, and off this trend cloud. It's also the cloud on the 1 minute here. The money stack dissipated. Let's remove this ABC because we're getting some consolidation here. I'm not going to play a 382 bounce. That's just not, that's a little bit too quick for me. I'd like to see a little bit more of like a pocket down here or something. Technically we got to move this up a little bit. We're approaching the hourly close in 8 minutes. Less than 7. So you're getting that like light coming back into the dark here on the 1 minute, perhaps. The light channel coming back into the dark. The light and the dark work together synonymously, for they are incarnations of each other. That was the line of a Buddhist monk who got burned to death by samurai. He said, which means, if you clear your mind of mundane thoughts, you will find even fire cool. And then he was burnt to death. True story. Looks like we're bouncing off the cloud, perhaps. You're coming back above the dots, which is bullish in nature. You're not going beneath them. So, Beavis, do you want to take this? I don't know, butthead. Should we be horsey with it? Okay. I changed my stop loss to the scalping stop loss one. It has a shorter trail stop level and it peels 2 off right away. And I'll only be down 49 bucks, so it is an easy one. We'll see. Trade number 2. Needs to see a little bit more conviction than that. Or not. Not really like my key level. I'd like to get it down there when I take those plays personally. This type of level is not my cup of tea, generally speaking. This is just B junk wave, idiot boxing right now. I mean, technically you can play dot to dot dot like Pong. Dot 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 dot. Let's see. Do they induce? What are they gonna do? They're gonna stop me out for that 33. They're already down 23 ticks. Looks like they will, or not. Kimmel. It's already done. It's already done, man. What's done is done. You pulled the trigger. Just let it go. So we're reclaiming this adaptive and this channel average. It's quite nice. You see all these things beneath the price like that, kind of supporting it, and the baseline's bouncing off it like boing. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. You're gonna do it? Come on. Just push up a little bit more to that fib level. That's all we want. Just to the fibs. Right there. 40. Go up like 15 bucks, like beep. Appear weak and then just bounce up real quick. You know what I mean? Up. I mean, you're poking your head back out. The light is kind of coming back out of the dark, expressing like, you know what? I want to kind of go up here. I want to go up. I found the cloud very supportive today, so I think the cloud's my friend. And the there we go. Yeah. Come on. Peel off those 2. There you go. Peeled off 2. It's a win. Stop in profit as it trails. 20 ticks locked in. Even if it pulls back here, 23 locked in. Yes, and we're out. And that's all we need. You know, I'm getting that in preparation for like minis in the future, like for that like quick mini play in and out. And that's it. That's all I needed. I'm happy. Now it's gonna dump. Hopefully you paid yourself or had an ATM strategy that was good if you were in that. There you go, but you're back at this thing, so you could like take it for a ride again. You got the money flying away, getting slight bearish divergence here on the oscillator, word to the wise, making a higher high, lower high on this oscillator. Same thing on the, whoop, there you go. So that's a type 2 inducement pattern. They got the 382 gung-ho people in. I paid myself because of the quick strategy of the ATM, and then it could come down to this. I mean, maybe you get an equilibrium bounce after that, I don't know, but what would be the point of inducing it if they don't like rip it down a little bit more than that, you know what I mean? It's holding a super trend nicely on the 30-second, which is also this cloud dot on the 1 minute. Cloud dot. I'm Cloud of the Clan MacLeod. You play dots to dots. Dot, dot, connect the dots. Connect the dots. Fa la 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 la. You see, now the bearish divergence in the Chaikin money flow prints here. But I was seeing it before, it was printing. You know, you got to be still having like divergence, like eyeballs. This is just so people can like back test. But sometimes it prints beforehand. It depends on how much chop suey is before the impulse out. This was premature, but if there was more chop suey here, it would have printed this. All right, so you're now failing the cloud. The shift on the 30-second is real. We're entering the hourly close in about 18 seconds. You have this curvature here on the 30-second cloud. The thinning has not abated on the 1 minute, so you could just pierce right through it. You're getting a cross down event. The light is coming back into the dark, which barely dipped above, so this could be a trap for the bulls and could be ripping it down. You so far have that bearish divergence and the money flying away, fly away. Oh man, I entered too late. Damn it. I hit it as it was doing that, but I think I'm gonna just close it because my entry is Garbo. Close. I was meaning to enter it beforehand. It's probably gonna rip down more, but I just didn't like my entry. I'm not gonna play with something like that. 217 for the day so far, so good. Coming back to the 50 SMA on the 16 block Renko, which is the 200 on the 8 bar here. For you Renko players out there. And we're at the 0.5 equilibrium of this impulse to the upside. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce. Hopefully you're not in a short. I got out of mine right quick because my entry was Garbo. I was just hoping to take a little bit of a scalp on that, like similar to this burst up. But you never know. This cloud curvature is insinuating that you could bearishly retest in a manner like this, beep, 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 and come back down to the 236 for a sweep yet again. You did break the cloud for a hot minute on the minute chart. A little bit too chop suey and idiot boxy for me right now. We're gonna just chill right now. We're up. So far so good. Technically that third trade was like 2 or 3 ticks captured, so it was a win, even though my entry was garbage and I could sense that it was at a potential. It was just a grab and I missed the grab. Rejecting off the cloud perhaps, but you're getting a cross up here. Money stack, stack, stack. The stack is waning here. Stack is waning. It is waning, and the stack is disappearing. Rejection off of these previous things, so you could be coming to the downside here. This could have been your fair value gap recovery. This is a fair value gap, and you could be coming back to recover that gap in this 30-second/1 minute candle here. We came up slightly to it. If you do this with this impulse down here, you came to the 618 on this little impulse to the downside. You wicked off the 618 and now you're coming down. So that was a 618 rejection here. So it looks like it's a ABC downwards. Rejection off the cloud, that thinning just starting to get thick now as it shifts. And this is how you can get that preemption of the cloud. The cloud is the way, the truth, and the light on Momentum Master Light here. Undeniable, really. That thinning, bearish retest, boom. You're back at the 0.5 of this. So the bullish players are playing their game here at the 0.5 now, again, for a second time. Watch out for that second hit. Second hits are a doozy if they're true, because it's a double bottom maybe, but it looks like it's waning off the 0.5 equilibrium here. And then that means, are you going to 618 to 618? 396. Next target. I don't know, I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm slightly in tune today. Harmonious, if you will. I don't want to jinx it, of course, but yesterday was about as unharmonious as you could start off, but we ended up okay overall. All right, so we're back here at the 618 of this impulse to the upside. Do you see a bullish play here? No one knows. Going back into, we're breaking right through it, saying do not enter, do not enter. They gave you these do not enters twice, right on the hour, once again here. So they're not really, I'm not really seeing, I'm seeing fly away, fly away, fly away, stack, trap, just fly away, fly away, fly away. I'm seeing the, you know, this, basically the C wave, we were projecting it as the B was forming. I didn't take it, but somebody out there did. Possibly coming back to the C wave. So this is where I could project. So now that it's starting to be kind of decent, we just do a fib, trend-based fib level here. Beep, beep, beep. And we are back at the 786, which happens to coincide with the 706 here. Are you going to see a bounce off this 706 reclaiming here for the bullish nature up? It's not in an oversold state. Didn't grab enough liquidity to my liking just yet, personally. But you never know, this could be where it peels out. It is the golden pocket here of this little leg. This little minutia. Let's go see what other confluence lies afoot. So you went beneath the 50 SMA on the 16 bar. You're basically bearish. This looks like a bearish structure on the Renko, and you could just be coming back down. 16 bar is flat, 8 bar is bearish. 32 is still bullish, but looks like it's on the path to going neutral slash bearish. Oops. Nice. Strong figure. Nah, the other convictions. Ah, convictions like getting convicted as a convict. I don't think I've ever been convicted of anything. I could have been if I were ever, yeah, but we'll not talk about that. So the trend dot's pretty strong here. You're getting wicked off them, wicked off them, wicked off them. It's not wanting to come back in just yet. You're flirting with the possibility of a baseline cross back up. It keeps trying to bang its head up against it. on the underbelly of the dragon. That's another 786. Came back down to the 706 the second time. This is the second hit. All right, we'll take it. Second hit's a doozy, but whatever. 4 trades. Boom. Success. S-U-C-C-E-S-S. That is how you spell success. And we're getting the 100 ticks one way or another. One way or another. One way or another. They're coming back right to the channel average and just going back. This is a nice one. This is an impulsive one. It's going to pay me when that runner right up into the maximum of it. I just treat the trailing stop loss as a trailing take profit, and it just trails right into it. And this could be a DCA bounce of a rev bar to continue on its merry way down. I don't care. I just care that I captured that burst off the 706 for the second time. Second hits off of these fib levels are nice reactions generally, so I don't care that it didn't get there. I have no hope or dreams about going lower because I wasn't in it. I was flat, and that's the beauty of being flat. After you get kicked out, it doesn't matter where it goes. It literally doesn't matter. It's just colors on a chart that pay you if you're right. Colors on a chart. But you're still this like thick cloud not showing signs of abating, but the battles have to start somewhere. They have to start down here, cross up, break right into here, break up to here, and these like breakout points. It's fascinating, really. It's fascinating when you find something that lines up with how the price action actually moves with. I've been looking for that for the Nasdaq for some time because I tailored something off of Bitcoin and it doesn't line up perfectly, but I'm starting to tweak something that is getting to that zone that I like, where it's starting to be more perfect, where you can see these, bearish retest ideas more visually and right in your face. We'll get it. We will get it. That cross-up play into this. So you could be like the cross-up player, you could be the continuation from the channel player. Like there's different, play styles, right? You could play the top here, the cloud coming in, and you monitor the light coming back into the dark, or you could play this, if you see conviction here, but this looks like it's a trap, like, the cloud angle here, not curving just yet. Like you want to see this. Let's just go back and iterate where those curves, we were talking about this curve here, the curve and the thinning, the curve and the thinning. The thinning curve gives you that nice conviction. And if you don't have that, it just looks like a continuation. So every kiss to the cloud is just going to be a continuation on your path of the underbelly of the dragon forming to the downside as it aims at the liquidity perhaps. The underbelly of the dragon. Do. I don't get tired of this mix. I don't know about you guys, but I never get tired of this mix. I'd love to play some chicane. This reminds me of like Chicane's Spanish guitar. If you don't know Chicane, I will enlighten you about his music. Chicane Behind the Sun. Classic trance track. I recommend getting this if you don't have it already. It was from the it's retro music now from 2000, 23 years old. Jeez Louise. And that is a continuation to the downside here. For that rejection of the cloud is true. And we are coming back down to these bearish trend-based fib levels. We are not making it above the 236, so I was not sold on any long idea for other than a bounce. I was counter trend trading. I took it. Basically, I took like 3 longs off of this, but I wasn't shorting for whatever reason. But I've been accurate. I'm 4 for 4 for today. So I could be taking these easier ones. Don't fight the trend. The trend is your friend. And look at this. It's just straight downside for this dragon underbelly here. The colorful Puff, the magic dragon here, is still taking the longs for a ride. You had a hidden bearish Chaiky money flow burn off here. Boom. You had a money bag that played out for whatever it was worth, but it was just a DCA demise bounce. I like to call them like dollar cost average demise, because the longs that are trapped go heavy and they never get break even, and then they're like, no. And I've been that guy, so I know what it's like. That's why you got to be quick on the draw, and have the quick ATMs to get you in and out, because it'll move faster than you can react. That's for damn sure. And there it goes. Liquidation.
Fatality.
And it goes down to the 1382 to liquidate some longs. Let's go see who was liquidated. How many people got liquidated? How many contracts reclaimed of sell side? Let's go. We're at the value area low. You got 100, 200, 300, 400. Let's go see the cumulative here. Boop, 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 boop. So we had about 1,000 contracts, 2K each time. So you had 1,000 contracts just annihilated there. Ouch. A lot of, and then the world played the world's smallest violin. And then you're back at 369, which is the value area low on this ATAS platform chart. The link is in the description for that, for a free 14-day trial. It is worth it, in my opinion. I can share with you all of this stuff and walkthroughs on how to set it up. It's fairly easy. If you know what sell side and buy side liquidity are, it's a very nice footprint of where the liquidity is resting. Or gets stopped out, really, because if you can see a lot of sells into this, then it means that the longs were gone, and or trap shorts entering at the bottom, and then that means they reverse out. So the more sells you see as you go into this, like seeing a lot of red here is good. Red is good for longing. The more red you see, the better. You don't want to see these 100 buy contracts here. Like, that just means more fuel to the downside. Like, I want to see blood red if I'm going to long. There we go, more red. 2K contracts stopped out here. 2,000 contracts. That's a lot of money. Take it. Okay. And we're only 16 minutes into the session here, of the hour rather, of the silver bullet. It looks like the play was to that wait, what? There we go. So if you look here in the previous hour, we had a lot of buys, right? Look at all the blues up in this previous hour here. You had 285, 258, 295, 338, 387, 349 of buyers up here at the top at 435. And then immediately, they just ripped it to the downside, ripped it to the downside, ripped it, ripped it, ripped it. So all of those buyers, they're the shorters that got stopped out down here, but also they're people long in the top, and then they're taking them for a ride once they reach an objective. So once they reach an objective down here, you should ideally see sellers leading into the idea of reversal for the long. So where does that stop? I don't know. just not, if you don't see a lot of buys, then it's generally good. So we're still 2K on the session, minus 2K in terms of sells being stopped out there on that drop. Getting some buyers interested here. These are definitely longs, but it could be shorts that are in profit that are saying thank you. 177 contracts out now. Over the course of, it tells you the number of the trades here, 3,476 trades happened in that 2-minute candle. Getting a little bit of a bounce. And once again, you're back at that oversold region. Had I been looking at this on a separate monitor, I would have been able to see this on Optima slash the light thing coming back into the light cloud here. We came down beneath the 1382. We didn't quite make it to the 1618 of the bearish trend-based fib. And yeah, looks like we're coming back above these 236 levels from the dip liquidity grab ABC within an ABC. Money stack, still not super sold on it. I'd like to see a lower low with the higher low on the oscillator, and then I'll be like, ooh. But we're out for the day, so we ain't FOMOing. These are some cool mints from Japan. They have caffeine in them. Mintia, they're called dry. These are dry hard mints, and they are super spicy, but they hit the spot. Refreshing. I can't believe we're only 20 minutes into this hour. It feels like it's been longer than that. I don't know why. Yesterday went faster, I guess because my heart was racing in the beginning for being like a dumb ASS. Pre-FOMC uncertainty. Yeah, I'm liking the price action today though. So far so good. This little chop into the hour was kind of garbage. We did take something, I don't remember exactly, I already forgot it, but we took something out of the market and within this, but it was just like the ping pong between the trend balls here. Boop, boop, boop. That was the real play to short that though. I think I was longing up into that, but I got stopped out into profit. I was basically counter trend trading. I know I took 3 longs on each one of these bounces in profit. Yeah. And that rejection off the trend balls and the 236 is just like, we're going lower. Let's go see what's stopped out on the toss real quick. I wish I had another Rhythmic account. I had the funds to connect another Rhythmic account to this. It would be nice. I would get that Elite Trader funding and do that here. So we had 452 at 172 for shorts, sell side stopped out 1, 2, 3, 4 pools of it. A bunch in the last 6 minutes, but then you had some buyers come in for that bounce. Some more buy side entered to the tune of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. You had about 1,000 contracts enter. We're still 2K negative in terms of sell side attack and going lower. Now if you start making a higher low on this oscillator here, Optima, while making a lower low, this could be a long potential if you're into that type of bottom fishing thing. We're just observing here. I'm just seeing what's going on. We're at the 1382. Again, it's counter trend, so it's extremely dangerous, if you will, but it does tend to reverse at the midway point of the hour. Yesterday it did that. We were looking at the short, it did the exact same thing, and then it came back up after the 30 mark. So you're coming back in. You didn't quite make a lower low. We're just patient. Could miss this here. Looks like it's double bottoming, perhaps. Getting a green dot for the momentum on your favor. Money stacking on the table. It is a burst for what it's worth, coming up from 62 to 74. If you play the tight scalping game, you could have taken that for a little bit. Booyah. The FOMC. What's it gonna be for the FOMC? We're coming back above the 236 levels. We went slightly below them. Now we're coming back above them. Cross-up event on the 1 minute here with money stack for the last 6 minutes. Cloud angle here. Cloud angle looking interesting if it can maintain. Still thick though, not like in the thickness. It's not abating at all really. It would have to have some conviction above it, a pierce at least, like a battering ram that goes like bzz, up to the bearish super trend, and then it can reject down here and then meander up. Okay. Green dot in your favor perhaps, but you still have this channel cloud to contend with, the average of the channel cloud, and then the volume weighted trend cloud here. The underbelly of the dragon starting to pull back up perhaps. Let's go see what it looks like on the Renko. Renko came back to this is the opening range, low and high for the range. We came back to the settlement line again. Double bottoming on the 8 bar here. I mean, it basically looks like what we were just looking at. I mean, it's just there's a million ways to skin a cat, and this is just another way to do that. Well, like I said, the one thing I love about this system is that it puts these pools, liquidity zones here for me, so I don't need to do it. I can save myself the trouble. I know where the sell side or the buy side and the sell side are just looking at it in a glance. Like, oh, the next one is here. Next one's here if we decide to rip it up. But ultimately we're just seeing these red bars down. The trend is your friend. I need to get better at like hopping in on these areas and riding the trend. I'm really bad at that. I don't know how to like just pull the trigger after it's already dropped. I get in this like mindset of like wanting it to like reverse. I feel like I'm too late or something. Like I couldn't short that from that to here, from 75 down to 62, but that's valid, you know. It's a rejection. Cloud is thick. You didn't get above the cloud. Like, I'm not kicking myself about it, but I'm just like observing what I'm weak at, and I'm weak at like riding a trend like in its full capacity. I'm kind of good at like counter trend trading, but it's not a good type of trading thing because you're fighting against the current, not going with it. I need to reward and test out that stuff. Undertaker, that wick definitely went pretty low, down to the 61 region. Not really seeing the, I mean, you are making higher lows on this oscillator. And we're reaching that halfway, that midway point of the hour. And we are piercing above the cloud for the first time since basically up here. Happens to be coming above the dot on the 1 minute. And rejection. But those little battering rams up against the cloud are the things that start to change the angle, if it is so inclined to continue. Not really seeing the money stack up here. There's most likely this is like a B consolidation. This is the definition of idiot box. So we are in an idiot box right now. Please beware of that. So let's go ahead and see what liquidity is getting pinged in, shall we? Buys at the highs, sells at the lows, definition of idiot box, but overall getting a bunch of, you know, you're getting 1K of buyers and then 1K of sellers stopped out. You're maintaining this negative 2K attack to the sell side here. Still have sell side beneath this down into the 61 region as you stop out the longs. So the buys are rejection off the cloud, wick, John Wick. We essentially came back to the 1382, the 368 level, and we're wicking around in this golden pocket of the take profit level of the trend-based fib extensions. We could come down to the 1618 for a completion grab of this B consolidation idiot box. Not really liking the structure here for anything personally. It's just like where people are chopping around, flopping and groping. There we go. How's everyone doing out there? Everyone good? Green? Everyone copacetic? Copacetic. The angle is shifting here though. The angle. Cannot ignore the angle. Same as this, but not thin yet. Not thin. But it is thinning. The key is it is thinning. We're not coming back in though. The light is not coming into the dark just yet. Money's not flying away or getting entered. It's just chop, chop, chop right now. I'd like to see some sort of thing. The 1 minute cloud. Okay, so we got 760. There's a lot of sell side though at this value area low. Overall, I'm not liking the buys that are entering here. There's like too many winners. Definitely longs in here, so that's like, why would they want to pay all those longs? Just like spike it down and stop them out one more time. Like it's chopping up to basically say get the shorts off them at this point. This is like the trap. This is the trap before the reversal, and I'm not going to be trapped in it. I'm just going to watch. Oh, but there you go. And there's the reversal, that shift. Shout out if you were catching this cloud angle. Son of a gun. And rip, rip, rip. That stochastic array, 5 time frames oversold. Had yet hello. And that midway point, that halfway point of the hour seems to be like a thing sometimes. You just get to that halfway point and then you start to shift from whatever it was doing prior. Got the cloud thinning. We were banging our head against the wall. If I was watching this instead of a toss, I would have been able to see this reclaiming of the cloud on the 30-second with that close there above the average of the band, and then boom, 30 seconds above to attack that buy side. Baby, buy, buy, buy. Hitting the buys. Broke the bearish super trend on the 30-second. Came back to the 1 level of the bearish trend-based fib level that we hit down here. I'm going to start cleaning up the fibs because I think we just bounced off the 1382 and we're gone, and we're not coming back to this, so I don't need it anymore. I don't need this impulse that we this retrace that we negated too, so that's gone. Got to clean up your chart when you can. These 236s of the higher time frame nature, these bullish 236s seem to be the things that we're holding. We went chopped beneath it and came back to reclaim them. I'm going to remove this fib because this was the 618 play for the displacement and continuation idea for the open of the hour. The rejection point on the 618, those looking at the short were the winners. And we're getting that cloud shift. And this is why that preemption is kind of good. You see that thinning and you saw this angle. It was insinuating. It was giving an insinuation of that. Seen it so many times with Bitcoin. I mean, this is a micro expression of that on a micro time frame. I'm relatively new to pulling the trigger this fast, so you know, I see these on 15-minute charts all the time. And then they play out. And you get that 15-minute candle close above that, and boom. And it's just happening within 30 seconds. So you know, you look at a chart and then you come back and it's played out and you didn't have time to react. It's very fast. You gotta be fast. You gotta be bold. You gotta be wise. You gotta be wiser. Getting the first trend dot on the 1 minute to the reverse idea. Light coming above the dark on the 32nd. You played the ping pong game up. Bing bong. As a rotation event occurs. Cloud shift. Beautiful. Looks beautiful. As the dragon pivots and changes direction. And we still have some time. And this is why I don't buy into this stuff. It's like when you're above the dots, like unless your angle is like this low, then like with this like 2 o'clock angle, there's really, I mean, technically you have that, but I would only use it as like a trailing stop loss idea. I wouldn't ever enter up above that dark zone. Maybe in the middle here, that like that cloud kiss idea, that's fire right there. That is the fire of this system. And there's nothing, there's literally nothing that would have given you that on the Renko. So that is one of the cool things about Momentum Master, is that this thing is like super sniper detail. If I do say so myself. I'm kind of partial because I made it, you know, but it's pretty cool. Let's see what is going on here. Got some water here. Bounce off the cloud. This is another thing you see. The pierce, kiss, continue. The angle of the cloud, I mean, the thickness is slightly thick. Remember, this is a volume weighted cloud. So if the volume is strong, it will continue higher. Not, it's kind of curving here. Let's go see Atas one more time. I'm also factoring this new information into my brain, and that's getting me to hesitate a little bit more, because it's giving me a little bit more pause seeing all these buys and stuff. It's the idea of information overload sometimes, but sometimes just keeping it simple with my indicator and buying when those things cross up and whatnot is better. I could have just taken this like a lot of sell side here on the hourly and not looked at in such minutia detail here on the 2 minute, being transparently honest and reflective of what is causing me to hesitate. So that kiss back to the cloud basically stopped out some more. You're still negative for the session. That was 969 contracts there. Let's go ahead and close this. Boop. Getting that kiss to the cloud. Definitely broke above the range, and you're testing this little idiot box breakout. Essentially coming up above it again. This happens to be the reclamation of the cloud on the 1 minute, but you're getting some kind of like hidden bearish divergence on the money flow from back here, because they're making a lower high and a higher high on the oscillator. It's starting to move slower now. It's moving with less conviction. Like, that was a cool play out. Angle tapering here, perhaps. Pardon me. Yeah, so when I get like things that don't work together with the system, like I get the cross down event suppressing the price here, and the bullish nature of bouncing off the cloud, it's not congruent. Like the angle is to the upside, this is to the downside, so I'm kind of like at an indecision point. This was more decisive because of this curvature was leading. You're at the bottom, this is starting to come back in, the angle's starting to curve. Like those are the things you look at right there. That's the thing to execute on. We're reclaiming the 1 minute here. The white is coming back into the dark here. The white 1 minute could be cascading here. There's essentially like a fair value gap over here at 402. Second bounce off the cloud. Hey, what's up, Dominique? How's it going? We were looking at this shift of the cloud here. We were looking at another chart and we missed this shift, but we were seeing this potential reversal come back into the market, bounce off the cloud not once but twice, 3 times, and now we're starting to break up above, creating this light channel above the dark here. Previously broke down here. We were counter trend trading this entire thing, scalping it. Took about probably 100 ticks in total across 4 trades. So far 4 for 4. The channel average here starting to reclaim it, perhaps. The angle now, next angle in this queue of time frames is the 1 minute. What does the 1 minute do here? You're starting to see this angle and thinning on the 1 minute here. So if you break out above the cloud and then you start to come back and kiss the cloud, are we going to see like a 1 minute cascade? So far the 30-second is still holding in terms of thickness of momentum and volume. It is a volume weighted cloud. Once again, link in the description, you can read about it, the trend cloud or cloud volume weighted cloud formula. Getting the cross down on the 1 minute though, I'm ambiguous right now because you're getting these cross down suppression. You know, we're not above this cloud like back here. This is a trending play you want to catch, like break above the cloud, catch, and you know, that would be a fun move to be in. This is not so fun because you're like wait, which one, where is it going? So it's kind of like it's not trending to the upside just yet. Getting a kiss off the 1 minute cloud here, starting to thin quite nicely. Do you get, I mean, just the ambiguousness though, the baseline's crossing down, getting bearish divergence that played out already perhaps, but not really seeing the money stack up. It's just another idiot box above an idiot box. Like you got 2 idiot boxes, an idiot box here, and then now that turned into the idiot box there, above the idiot box. Just 2 idiot boxes. I mean, you could be taking these bursts from 74 to 90, like that's pretty good. I was taking these bursts up from here from 90 to 408, so what's the difference really if you're able to capitalize on that cloud bounce or whatever. In this case, it looks like it's going to reject off the cloud because you got that 1 minute cross down event. So this could be like an ABC to sweep the lows for like a double bottom or something. I'm just not taking it. Ooh, but you're getting the cloud shift here. Look at that. Look at that shift on the 1 minute. It's quite interesting. Interesting. Thin and kissing. Also the 236 levels here. It happens to be the top of this range. Are they going to flip this into support and then bang out of here, going into the hour close? We did do that yesterday, technically, but it was after the hour close we started to. I literally hit the buy button as I was saying goodbye, but oof. So that's sweeping all of the buyers that entered here. They're getting that liquidity. They're gonna get sell side liquidity. They're like, sell me your contracts now. Let's go see. They're keeping the shorts at bay while at the same time stopping out the, so that was 93, 83, you know, stopped out there, building up an accumulation on that range. And the bearish divergence for the win there. Bearish divergence, bearish divergence. Bearish divergence on top of bearish divergence. So we were talking about this range, hidden bearish here, and then that cascaded into a HYPOTHETICAL money flow divergence here. Shout out if you took that ABC to the downside there. That was a nice play from 90 down to 67. Real quick too. That was like a 4 minute trade right there. I mean, the cloud on the 30-second tapering off that drop here. How's everyone doing out there? Also, we took like a 200 tick play off the open. Where was that? Like, that was to the upside, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this whole thing up here. We took that up. Then we took another scalp up. Then we took another scalp up and a scalp up. We were like we were only taking longs for some reason, but they were all successful. All right. Let's go see this real quick. I'm going to switch to the 15 minute to see this better, actually. I like being able to juxtapose the sells and the buys on the 15. So basically, we had a drop down, stopped out a bunch, burst up, stopped out a bunch of shorts and or induced some longs, then dropped down again, and now we're back into the sell side end of things. And we're starting to get more buys here. These are shorts peeling off their profits or buyers buying in at the bottom, which they may or may not allow. 7 minutes until the hourly close, the angle of which to this 30-second cloud now shifting to the downside here after the thinning. The 1 minute, if you bearishly retest it, could be giving you a bigger play if this continues lower. This bearish retest of the 1 minute cloud would also coincide with the thickness of this 30-second if we're going to continue lower. The baselines on the 1 minute could be your suppression ticket because you're getting a cross down event. And this is why I wasn't sold on the long. I mean, I would have taken this if I wasn't looking at the ATOS chart and seeing all the buys in here. And then I would have taken that for a gain and gotten stopped out in profit. But let's go look at the Renko to remove some noise real quick. Looks like it could be ABCing some downside here and possibly revving up to stop out at the 50 SMA on the 8 bar. This could be an inversion where it plays out to the downside. The Renkos are now neutral on the 32. Starting to rev out a little bit, getting a bounce up here to the cloud. What does the cloud do here? Getting money stacks, stack, stack, stack. Getting momentum on your side. We're gonna let go of the C thing. Just see where it goes. Money stack, money stack. Essentially went back into the other idiot box and became one massive idiot box. From 463 up to 438, from 363 to 387 idiot box. So we're coming back above the cloud. That's like the type of conviction you could have for a play to continue if it stays there. But the 1 minute cloud is mighty thin. But we did reclaim it in all honesty. And sometimes it's just chop, and you could take, I would have taken this angle was really nice. I was thinking about taking it if the buys weren't so prevalent in here. And in the wise words of Mr. Payton within the Momentum Master Group, that an idiot box trash consolidation equals C leg down. So this could be an entire leg down too. So let's go ahead and do a fib, trend-based fib extension level. Just say that's the impulse and this is the retrace. And if you break this 375 region, you could be coming down lower. And that also triple confluence with that bullish 236 level. I'm going to delete this old one from here. I'll try to find it off the stream actually. But yeah, if you break down below that, you could be coming into these 345 and 335 levels all the way possibly to 300 and below. As we say that. Look out below, the trap door has been set. 375 was the 236. Yet again, 236 strikes again and it was too fast for me to react. Feels bad, but it's good. So the thinning cloud does not always mean reversal. This is why we say thin clouds represent weakness or consolidation points. Keep in mind, when the cloud thins, a potential expansion or reversal is in. So we were talking about trash consolidation, B wave, and then we did the B wave retrace, and it was too fast for us to react to. We were getting to that theory. We were concluding it as it was about to happen. Damn you, Nasdaq. I would have considered taking that too. It would have been my first short of the night. It was too fast for me to react to, but I was coming to the conclusion. You saw it. I was seeing the thinning of the cloud here, and then that 236, as I concluded it, it dropped through it. We'll get faster. That was a nice drop. 379 down to 355. And it may not be over. We're just starting on the 1 minute. Do these trend dots continue? And we're getting the hourly close. Let's go see what the ATAS has for you one last time here. And then we will bid you adieu. So that there was a large stop out there. You're still 2K in negative imbalance to the sell side liquidity. There were 364 stopped out here, and 71 currently where we are at now. All right, everyone, that's my cue as the hour turns to bid you adieu. So if you took some good trades, congratulations. We were 4 for 4 for tonight. And the proof is in the pudding, so we'll show you the pudding. There you go. And yeah. Then we will... So we have the sim linked up here to Replikanto. Links to those are in the description. Momentum Master as well. ATAS platform for footprint charts. And so on and so forth. And thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day. We'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, and we'll catch you on the flip.